before I jump into the 3 most dangerous words in retirement, let me share with you the 3 most dangerous words before you retire. And that is 1 more year. It's super easy to just increment yourself 1 year at a time out of your healthiest and most active years. But you're interested in the most dangerous words in retirement. And those are, I feel bored, or worse, I feel useless. And unfortunately, American society is not the friendliest to senior citizens, right? In many respects, we kind of hide our elderly. A lot of cultures respect and revere their elderly. And to some respect, that's true in the US. But let me share with you a recent study done with Harvard undergrad students. And the question they asked was, what comes to mind when you think of the word 60-year-old person, or I guess the phrase 60-year-old person? And the top choices were first, wrinkled, I guess guilty as charged for me. The second one is washed up, and the third one is useless. And I'm about to turn 59 years old. I don't know about you, but I certainly don't feel washed up, and I certainly don't feel useless. So let's go for a walk and let's talk about how to keep ourselves relevant, how to keep our energy up in retirement. And before I go into how to do these things, if you enjoy my videos, if you're enjoying this video, do me a quick favor, give me a thumbs up. It really does help the YouTube algorithm find other folks that can benefit from my videos. Okay, let's jump in. So what can you do to stay active, to stay mentally in the game, to wake up excited for the next day, to go to bed, eager for the next morning? What can you do to do that? And I'm a financial advisor. I've worked with hundreds of families over the past 2 decades. And here's some things that I have seen that work. And the first is, think of retirement as a place to grow, not as a place to rest. If you look up the word retirement in the dictionary, common phrases would be secluded. Some people do like to be secluded, nothing wrong with that. Removal from action, removal from danger. In some ways, we're being removed from the action of one stage of our life, but not from all stages, right? So I think if we think of retirement as a time to grow, a time that we have our freedom to pursue what we want to do, when we want to do it, where we want to do it, and with whom we want to do it, right? It's not necessarily a time to unplug and go golf every day, go fishing every day, to sleep in every day. That's going to feel good for probably the first couple weeks, maybe the first couple months of retirement, but it gets old very quickly. And so I think you want to think of retirement really as commencement. As I record this, it's commencement season. I love commencement season. Tom Hanks just gave his commencement speech at Harvard. If you haven't seen it, I promise it'll just YouTube it. You're on YouTube anyways. You'll chuckle and you'll also go away saying, that was 10 minutes well spent. I'm a big fan of Tom Hanks. I think in some ways he's one of America's favorite actors. And he's older than me, right? So is Tom Hanks washed up? Absolutely not, right? I mean, he did just play the character Otto in a movie where he passes away from old age. But other than that, I think he's still at the prime of his game, and I think many of us are still at the prime of our game. We're switching gears. We're switching gears from the prime of one game and switching into another game. And I think there's a really, really good book that if you haven't read, I really encourage you to. It talks about these transitions from one phase of your life to the other. And it's a book called From Strength to Strength by Arthur Brooks. And he talks about how, early on we're doers, right? We're the people in the trenches making things happen. And later in our life, we're the coaches, we're the teachers, we're the mentors to the mentees. And both are critically important. I've talked many times, one of the super fortunate things in my life is I was fortunate enough early in my life to have some really, really strong mentors. Super appreciative of those folks. You know who you are, so thank you. You've made a difference in my life. But what should retirement mean? Retirement should mean growth. Retirement should be a time to pursue your passions and whatever you're curious at. Retirement should mean next, which is why I think commencement's a better word for our stage of life rather than retirement. I really, retirement has a bad connotation. We need a new word. I don't know what it is. Maybe it is commencement. But in my book, we're either growing or we're dying. And always remember that, we want to be thinking about, how do we continuously evolve as people and become the person that we want to be, the person that we desire to be, dream about being. How do we do that? And I think we could, this is a great time to do it. And most of us are 100 hours of work away from having a wonderful, great, exciting retirement. And, we can do this work before we retire, or we can do the work after. I would encourage you to do it before you retire. But no matter where you're at, right, I'm surrounded by these beautiful big trees here. And the saying is, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. But the second best time to plant a tree is today. And it's the same thing with ourselves, right? What is the best version of ourselves? What do we want to do? And let's start pursuing what that is. So give some thought. What is your next? What is your next? Period. What does that next chapter of your life look like? What gets you super excited? And it doesn't have to be expensive, right? I mean, the candid answer, the canned answer, the default answers to what do you want to do in retirement is, I want to travel, I want to get better at my golf game or to fish more, and I want to spend more time with my grandkids. And those are all great things, right? The travel can be super expensive, or it doesn't have to be expensive. It can be super affordable. And it can also really reinvigorate you and get you thinking about what is your next. There's nothing like getting out of your comfort zone to be thinking about that next chapter of your life. So, in my opinion, the best place to do this 100 hours of thoughtful work and reflection would be in another country. You experience a new culture, you're taken out of your element, everything is new and different, and your senses are heightened. So I think that would be a great way to do things if you want to combine travel and this 100 hours of hard work. And it doesn't have to be fun. Hopefully it's fun. It's fun work for us, right? Just thinking about what do we want to do? So I'll leave you with that thought. What do you want to do? And two things you might want to do is watch this video up here, which talks about the average income in retirement. It's one of my most popular videos. In this video down here that talks about 5 reasons to retire as soon as you can once you get that 100 hours of work done. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.